Hey guys, welcome to CP Cards and Dice, and I'm bringing another one of those 1979 Mets replay games, game 135. It's Beringer versus Sanderson. It's New York Mets at Montreal Expos, and I'm using pre-filled out actual lineups sheets that you can print out right from the Sideline Strategy. You get it downloaded from Sideline Strategies. They have everything before 1990. So this is 1979. I printed out game 135. It's all done for me, so I'm going to actually use it, even though I'm still going to be inputting information into iScore. I'm going to get started right away. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably listening to this saying, okay, when is he going to do the drawing? And I'm going to do the drawing on Saturday, man, because I've been really exhausted every day, getting home late. I haven't had the chance to even play a game, and today I finally got a little bit of energy, a little bit of time to play the game. So I don't want to be like, okay, I'm going to do the drawing now. That's a whole separate setup. I got to clean off the table, and but I have all the names already. I gave everybody enough time to get their answers in. So I'm excited about that because I didn't want to like jump the gun and not give everybody enough time to get the answers in. That wouldn't be fair. I didn't like that. So we're right about to start, and it's New York Mets versus Montreal Expos in Montreal. 1979. It's actually September 3rd, 1979. And it's going to be Scott Sanderson pitching to Frankie Taveras leading off. John Stearns playing left field today. He's usually the catcher. But he also plays first base and third base. He's batting second. Mazzilli in the third spot. Hebner, third baseman. Youngblood batting fifth in right field. Batting sixth is Ed Kranepool, the one and only Ed Kranepool. Alex Trevino, the catcher, batting seventh. Batting eighth is Doug Flynn, second baseman, and Beringer. Actually, it's Berenguer, right? In Spanish, he's the pitcher. He's batting ninth. And we're right about to start. Let's go. We're going to use fast action cards, chartless, payoff pitch. That's a tough pitch. Let's see what Frankie Taveras can do with it. Well, it's not going to be very much. Not going to be very much at an 89 that we pulled. That's going to be a ground ball to shortstop. Shortstop is Chris Spire. That's 6-3, one away. Next is, let's see, out. Round out, 6-3. 9, that's ballpark to John Stearns. Ballpark 47, he's a right-handed batter. That's wheelhouse at Olympic Stadium. So we got a potential home run. 1 to 14 is a home run, and it's a 16. That's going to be off the top of the wall. Looked like it was going to be out of here. And Stearns is into second with a double. John Stearns is second base. The pitch to Lee Mazzilli. Mets top hitter. That's 4. That's Patient. A Patient 64, and that's going to be, we're going to read it right off the card, long single into the gap in center field. Runner on second, advances a base, potentially a second base. You got the question mark situation. So, you know what? It's early in the game. There's only one out. Stearns is a pretty good base runner, actually. Stearns, if you look at his base running ability, is a 7. A 7. Let's look at the center fielder's arm. Andre Dawson, I think he's got a pretty darn good arm. He has a 4 arm, yeah. We're going to hold off. Man, I'd really like to attempt that, but I know I'm not going to roll less than a 4. That's going to be tough. It's a 2 and a 2 and a 1 and a 3, and that's basically it. It has to be less than a 4, because if it's right on 4, then I got to look at another chart. So you know what? We're going to hold Stearns at third. We're going to have first and third with 1 out, top of the first. Scott Sanderson was 9-8 with a 3.43 ERA and 24 starts. Here's the pitch from Sanderson. It's a tough pitch. Let's see what Richie Hebner can do with it. And a tough pitch, and that's going to be a strikeout. Hebner swings through a high fastball. And that's out number 2. And with 2 outs and those on first and third, it's going to be Joel Youngblood. We might, you know what? We're going to run Mazzilli. We're going to pull a card and see if we can run him. And it's a 9, so he does not go. So let's do that. It's a double for Stearns. Stearns is actually double for Stearns. And then Mazzilli singles. Single for Mazzilli. You're probably hearing the AC in the background, man. It's over 100 degrees over here. Who's there? Clinton Parks, my man. No, that's a good question, brother. The reason I'm doing the paper, too, is because I was on the sideline strategy Delphi forum, and a guy actually created every season pre-filled actual lineup score sheets. So all you have to do is download the one folder, and you get everything before 1990. And I'm sure he's working on the modern stuff post 1990. So that got me excited because everything was done for me. And you can use this for any game you play. If you want to play APA, if you want to play Strat, if you want to play Replay, if you want to play whatever you want to play, you can still use this because it's just the actual lineups on a very cool score sheet. So that's why I'm doing two today. This one, the iScore keeps all my stats, but the paper is what I do for fun. All right, so I'm filling this in here, and it should be first and third. A strikeout. Hebner goes down swinging, which is not good for the Mets here. First and third, 2 outs now. And it's going to be Joel Youngblood. Here's the pitch from Scott Sanderson. It's a 7. That's in play 87. And that's going to be a ground ball to Chris Spire across the diamond. And that's out number 3. No runs, 2 hits, unfortunately. And at the end of half an inning of play, no score. Montreal Expos are coming to bat. Apachata, what's up, brother? Yes, out of the jam. Mr. M in the house. Juan Berenger. Look at that. This is a trip. Juan Berenger, 5 starts for the Mets, 30 innings pitched, 28 hits, gave up 2 home runs, 12 walks, 25 strikeouts. Had an ERA of 2.93. Let's see what happens. It's Warren Cromartie, left-handed hitter. He's the left fielder for the Expos. It's an 8. That's a tough pitch, 0-8, and he goes down on strikes. Cromartie strikes out, 1 away. Dave Cash. I always thought Dave Cash was a black guy. And it just so happens he's a white guy. Not that I care. It's just for some reason I thought he was a black guy. I always thought he was a black guy. That's a 9. That's Patient. Patient 49. That's going to be a ground ball and through into left field for a single. Right under the glove, the outstretched glove of Frankie Taveras. And Cash is a threat to steal. He had 7 stolen bases. Well, not really, but he's a 4. Let's see what we pull here. Oh, he's a 4, so he's going to go. Let's see. The catcher is Trevino. Alex Trevino is a 2-arm, so he's got a good arm. And Cash is a C, so that's a C2. And off the top of my head, I believe, you know what? I got to look at that. I don't have it memorized. C2 is actually a fair. So let's pull a card, see what happens. We're going to look right here at stealing, fair. He is safe. Under the tag. Beat the throw from Trevino, and Cash steals second here. 1 out, runner on second. So that was what did Youngblood do? He grounded to short. Ground ball, 6-3. Oops. 6-3. Having to input twice. Cromartie struck out. And then there's been a single and a stolen base here. And a stolen base by Davey Cash. Oh, second base, stolen base. Boom. There he is. Andre Dawson, the batter. Dawson versus righties batted .269. Yes, that's right, Chatter. You are right, sir. All right, the pitch from Berenger to Andre Dawson. It's 11. That's a wheelhouse. We're looking at a 1-37. That's a deep drive over the fence. 1-37 is a home run. See what we pull versus a righty here. We pull a 0-9. That's a deep drive to left field. Stearns back to the wall, looks up, and that's out of here. 2-run shot for Andre Dawson. Now, Dawson hit 21 home runs. Hit 21 home runs versus righties and 4 home runs versus lefties. Batted, I think, about 285 with 25 home runs. And the Expos are up 2-0. Rusty Staub, there he is, Le Grand Orange. Passed away just recently. R.I.P. Rusty Staub, 7. Is a tough pitch to Rusty, a 91. And that's a ground ball to second baseman Flynn. Up with it. Flips to Cranepool. 2 down. Round 4-3. And it's Ellis Valentine, right fielder. The pitch is a 4 patient 0-5. That's going to be a walk. Base on balls to Ellis Valentine. We're going to pull a card to see what happens there. He tries to get a jump, and he does not. He's a 4. We pulled a 7. Larry Parrish, the third baseman. Parrish had 28 home runs versus righties. Pitch from Behringer. It's a 6 in play 46, and that's going to be a ground ball to Cranepool. He's going to take it himself, 3 unassisted, and that retires the side, but not before. The Expos pick up 2 runs. They lead at 2-0 going to the top of the second. That was Valentine walked, and then it was a ground ball. Ground out to the first baseman by Parrish. Was Dave Cash African American? All right. Well, I stand corrected then. I don't know who I'm thinking of. Or maybe I thought he was a white guy and he was actually a black guy. Who knows? Doesn't matter to me. All right, Scott Sanderson on the mound against Eddie Cranepool, one of my favorite Mets, longtime Met. Started with the team in '62. Casey Stengel actually, he had pulled a muscle in his leg, and Casey Stengel looked at him and says, "You're 18. How can you pull a muscle? I don't understand that." The next year, he started the season off, on the injured list as well, and the signs started, appearing saying, is he over the hill? Is Ed Cranepool over the hill when he was like 19 years old? All right, Scott Sanderson to Ed Cranepool. It's a 9 ballpark, 0-3. So that's going to be Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse 1-12 or 1-35 for some sort of hit. 82, that's nowhere near a hit. So he actually popped up to the second baseman, Cash. 1 away. Pitch to Alex Trevino, ballpark, and that's going to be a rare play. Let's see what happens here. Rare play. I got it right there. I'm not using the other one today. Line drive, single hits pitcher. Okay, so it's a hit. Alex Trevino's on. I'm not checking injuries. Don't want to be bothered. Doug Flynn. So Cranepool popped out. To Cranepool, to the second baseman. And then Trevino singles. And now it's Doug Flynn. That's a 10. That's a tough 66. Tough 66 is a ground ball to the second baseman, Cash. Let's see if he can turn a double play. Flips the spire back to first. Let's see. 11, not in time, so it's going to be a 4-6 fielder's choice. Flynn is on. Flynn is on at first. Let's see if he runs like that. Oh, a 2. He does run. He had 0 stolen bases, 3 caught stealings. He's a 2F. So he's as bad as you can get. He's probably going to be caught stealing. And am I looking for here? Oh, I'm looking down here. Yeah, he's out. Duffy Dyer throws out Doug Flynn, righty, so the second baseman covers 2 for caught stealing, and that retires the side. 1, 2, 3 outs. There goes Trevino, throw down, and he's out, tagged out, caught stealing. 2-4. Wait a second. Back up. It's going to be a fielder's choice. Fielder's choice, 4-6. Out at second, force out. And then Doug Flynn attempts to steal second. He's out. Caught stealing, 2-4. Side's retired. Duffy Dyer leading it off. Juan Berenguer, 6 in play. In play 98. That's going to be a fly ball to shallow left field. In comes Stearns. 1 away. Chris Spire. Ballpark 11. That's going to be, he's a righty. So it's going to be, we're looking at his wheelhouse. That's a 58 in the wheelhouse. That's going to be an out. It's going to be a pop-up to the right side. Kranepool calls for it. 2 down. In the bottom half of the second inning, 2-0 Expos on the 2-run shot by Andre Dawson. Pitch from Berenguer, 8, tough. 79 on the pitcher. That's a strikeout. Three up, 3 down. We go to the top of the third. We're playing the 1979 Mets game, 135. Using payoff pitch, pretty much 90% chartless, 99% chartless. What did Dyer do here? Dyer flied out to left. Spire popped up to first, and then a strikeout on the pitcher. And it's the pitcher, Berenguer, a 5 batting card. Patient, and a 56 patient is an out. It's going to be a fly ball, shallow right. 1 away. Right there is Valentine. 6, tough pitch to Taveras. And that's going to be another out. It's going to be a fly to center field, right center field. Over is Dawson. 2 down. And Stearns doubled in his first at bat in the first inning. That's a 7. That's in play. In play 56. That's a fly to right. Valentine. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. Go to the bottom of the third. We're playing payoff pitch. Who's that? Tabletop Sports Delaware, my brother. You are in that drawing, my friend. I saw that. There's still time to get in that drawing, guys. I'm doing it on Saturday, okay? Just because I'm working, man. I got a new job, and it's exciting, but it's a lot of work. Not for a lot of money, so but it's good stuff. I get to help a lot of people. All right, so Berenguer, what did he do? He flied out to right. Fly out to right, and then it was a fly out to center. And then it's a fly out to right again. All right, so leading it off is going to be Warren Cromartie. There he is. Okay, I got it. Here's the pitch, bottom of the third. Say 6. That's in play. An in play 80 is a fly out to center field. Mazzilli is right there. 1 away. Next is Dave Cash. Defense 76. Oh, that's an automatic. That's an out no matter what. It's going to be to right field, line drive to the right fielder. Who's that? Youngblood is out there. 2 away. And Andre Dawson. So Cromartie flies out to center. Dawson. Cash flies out to right. And now it's Dawson. 8. Tough pitch to Dawson. 23, and that's a strikeout. Curveball gets Dawson. 3 up, 3 down. We're going to have to shuffle now. That's strikeout number 3 for Behringer. Go to the top of the 4th. We're going to have to do a quick shuffle here. Thanks, Chatter. Appreciate that, brother. Not really a new job. I wasn't clear. It's more of a promotion. I don't have to do a lot of crappy stuff, just a little bit of crappy stuff. Stuff I don't like to do. A little bit, not that much. Most of it is stuff I like to do, so it's all right. All right, I'm showing you guys my Atlantic City shuffling techniques. Worked under the Atlantic City Taj Mahal Trump administration. Very proud of that. And as you can see, I'm highly skilled, highly adept with my shuffling abilities. Okay. Here's a pitch from Scott Sanderson. Top of the 4th to Lee Mazzilli. That's a 10. That's a tough 36 is a strikeout. Strikeout number 2. So it's a strikeout for, what did Dawson do? Dawson struck out. Okay. Now it's Mazzilli. He flies out. I'm sorry, he strikes out as well. And it's Richie Hebner, 7. It's in play to Hebner. In play 39 is an out. It's a ground ball to the first baseman. Who's that over there? Staub, Rusty Staub. 3 unassisted. Youngblood. Ballpark, 25. That's going to be wheelhouse. 18. That's a deep drive to left field. Back goes the left fielder Cromartie to the track, to the wall. Looks up. It's out of here. Joey Youngblood connects. Score is now 2-1. And I'll tell you, that was a ground ball right before that to first base. Let me look and see. Youngblood, that was his, I'll tell you what kind of, that was his 13th home run. Now, Youngblood on the season hit 16. So, I mean, he's right on the money. You got about 25 games more to go. So that was his, what did I just say? That was his 13th. In reality, he hit 15 home runs. Now, Youngblood is batting .245. Well, actually, a little bit more. Let me punch in this home run. 2-1 right now for the Mets. And let me go back to Youngblood. You tap on his name and it gives you the stats. He's batting .246 on the season. In reality, batted .275. Okay, so he's a little bit below, or a lot below his average, 30 points. I mean, but I got another guy who's 30 points above his average. You know, so everybody else is around within 10 points of their average. So it's pretty close. You're always going to have these anomalies, no matter what system you play in. It's never going to be exact. And that's about it. So I just want to share that with you guys. Eddie Kranepool with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. It's an 11. That's a defense 44. Well, actually, we're not going to look at the number. We're going to look at the error first base. And at first base is Rusty Staub. Probably not very good. He's a 3. So we're going to pull 1 to 29 is going to be an error on Staub. We pull a 53. That's going to be lined and caught by Rusty. Hit right on the screws, but right at Rusty Staub. It's a 2-1 game thanks to the home run by Youngblood. We go to the bottom of the fourth now. Lined to first base. All right, so it's the bottom of the fourth. Rusty Staub at the plate. He's a lefty. 10 is patient. A 0-0. We got to pull out our trusty rare play chart. Let's pull a card, a 10. Catcher hit by foul ball. Okay, so he's going to shake it off. And we're going to move on. Pull another card. 6 in play. 0-7. That's going to be a line drive base hit to right for Rusty. That's only the third hit of the game against Berenguer and the first hit since that first inning. So Rusty's on at first. Not a very good base runner. Ellis Valentine, 5, tough, 56. Tough 56 is a fly ball, shallow right. Back goes Cranepool. In comes Youngblood. Youngblood calls him off. 1 down. Parrish in play 80. It's going to be a fly to center. Mazzilli backs up a few steps. He's there. 2 out. So Rusty singled and then held up. That was an out to right. Then he fly to center. Okay, and it's Duffy Dyer. Duffy Dyer flied out to left in the second inning. 4, patient, a patient 88, and that's a ground ball to short. Taveras flips to Flynn for the force. And that's all she wrote. We go to top of the fifth. It's 2-1. Expos. It's going to be Trevino, Flynn, and Berenguer. Scott Sanderson on the mound for the Expos. Here's the pitch to Trevino. Alex Trevino singled in his first at bat, a line drive off the pitcher. That's patient, a patient 45, and that's going to be a ground ball and through into left field right under the outstretched glove of the shortstop, Spire. So that's the second single. Trevino's 2 for 2. And Trevino had 2 stolen bases. He needs a 3. We pull a 6, so he's not going. Flynn now. 6 is tough. A tough 0-3. That's a strikeout. That's strikeout number 3, out number 1. We're going to get a bunt by Berenguer. Berenguer is a B bunter. And, they get the lead runner. It's going to be a pitcher. Comebacker to the pitcher, turns and throws to Spire. And they force out Trevino 1-6. Berenguer is on with the fielder's choice. And Taveras. Pitch to Frankie Taveras. Patient 98. That's a fly to left field. And that's out number 3. Mets leave 1, score none, and after 4.5, it's 2-1 Expos. Did San Antonio not allow Chick-fil-A at their airport? Actually, you know what? I think they ended up allowing Chick-fil-A at the airport. Somebody kind of stepped in, and I'm sure they were motivated by, influential, campaign donations by Chick-fil-A, because they do have a couple of dollars, right? And somebody stepped up, and I think they held their own, and they're in the San Antonio airport. Chick-fil-A, I think that's the company that doesn't want to serve the LGBT community, that sort of thing, right? They're not welcoming to the LGBT community because they're less than humans, I guess. I guess is their philosophy. All right, let me go back to Dyer. That was 2 outs, and Dyer grounded out to the okay. Grounded out, 6-4. And then we had a single by Trevino. We had a strikeout. Oh, I got to tell you a story. I got to tell you some drama over at one of the Delphi forums. The Stratomatic Delphi. Guys apparently don't like that you say that Strat doesn't offer seasons, and they randomly come out with other seasons that guys spend a lot of money buying on the secondary market. They just randomly reprint them when you think, hey, with no warning. So you paid $300 for an online, out of production set, and all of a sudden the next day it's selling for $47 on the website at the store. Guys are not happy about this, and they're not making all the seasons available. Well, it was a chaos ensued. Guys got very flustered. Their feathers got ruffled. They started complaining to the moderator. The moderator started basically banning and censoring and deleting, threads left and right. It was pure chaos, man. It was pure, unadulterated censorship. And that went on there. Berenguer fails, hits into fielder's choice, 1-6. 1-6. Run out at second. So yeah, that was a big scandal for a little bit. That was pretty funny, I thought. And then he started telling members to create their own Delphi forum, an anti-Strat Delphi forum, because the guys that were complaining don't even play Strat. I don't understand that. Why would guys not play Strat? Guys play Strat, and they want to play more Strat, but they can't because a lot of the seasons that they want aren't available. Like 1998, for example. That's impossible to find. It's like $350 if you do find it. Okay? That's what the guys were complaining about. They want to play Strat, but they can't because their favorite seasons aren't available. And they run out or whatever it is. You know how they do it. One season per year, and then they come out with a lot of different seasons, which guys aren't happy with. It's supposed to be an enemies. I don't know if you guys heard about this. It's called the enemies. Two teams that went at it, like let's say the 78 Red Sox and Yankees. Well, they're going to have sets of cards that represent only the stats. From what I understood, and I may be wrong, you can double check this. The enemies set is supposedly the stats. Only the stats that came about when those two teams met during the course of that season. So it's not lifetime stats or it's not season stats. It's just the stats when those guys played each other. So, Thurman Munson could be a 198 batter, and Willie Randolph could be a 447 batter. That's how I understood it, and other guys understood it that way from the conversations that I heard. So anyway, I don't know if you guys heard anything about that. Dog piled on, that is, myself included. Strat players seem to be folks that dopple on everyone with a different opinion. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Nobody got on anybody. It was the most harmless comments I had ever seen. Nobody used profanity. Nobody said it was a terrible game. Okay? Actually, a guy said, you know what? It's not about the game. We're not saying the game is no good. We're not saying we don't like the game. We're not saying the game is no fun. We're not saying it's not the best game. We're not saying anything about the game. We're saying that the seasons we want aren't available. That's why we're mad. Oh, you can't complain. You guys don't play Strat. You just want to, bring the company down. You just, you just want to complain, and you're complainers. And you know what? I'm going to ban everybody. I'm going to censor this thread. I'm going to, delete this thread. And every time, then another guy came on and said, "Hey, what happened to the thread?" and then it started all over again. Says, "Well, you guys, if you want to complain, go to Delphi. And it's easy to create a forum. Create your own forum because the guys are complaining to me. Because complaining to you about what? Because facts were stated. I don't understand. This is a company that cares about no one. Other guys are saying, and this is the argument, well, they've been around for 50, 60 years or whatever, 150 years since the Civil War. I don't care. They must know what they're doing. No comment. Anyway, all right. And Scott Beringer and that was a fly ball by Tavares. I'm still trying to input that last inning before I get going here. That was a fly ball and that was it. All right, Chris Spire against Juan Beringer, bottom of the fifth. And I, by the way, have thousands of dollars in strat stuff, and I play strat. I just can't play it all the time because there's all the other games I like. And I only have X amount of time in my life that I can dedicate to playing tabletop. All right, Chris Spire, here's the pitch. 8, tough. 23, it's a tough pitch, and Spire will strike out. Swings through a fastball. 1 down. And the pitcher, Scott Sanderson, in play, 73. That's a fly ball center field. Mazzilli there. 2 out. It's 2-1 Expos here in the bottom of the fifth, playing September 3rd, 1979, game 135. 135. That's an 8 tough pitch to Warren Cromartie, 86. And that's a ground ball to Flynn. Flynn to his right. And 4-3. That retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. We go top of the 6th. We're going to move a little bit, guys. And then let me see. Any comments? Yeah. Heck, I was treated like that as a strat purist. I was told if I wanted a certain level of reality in a football replay, I should just watch NFL films. It seems that strat players who play other games seem to be treated differently than strat purists. Never jumped on someone. Yeah, I agree. I don't get it. I don't get it. They're all good games. They're all fun games. They're all good games. They're all, I just don't see why they have to be, I don't know, elitist. It seems like it's an elitism. You can't say anything, and I'm not saying an opinion, right? I'm saying stating a fact. You're stating a fact. You're saying lots of seasons aren't available. And the question is, why? That's stating a fact and asking a question. Now, if you deem that as something negative and you're offended, well, I'm sorry. I just stated a fact. I didn't say it's not a good game. I didn't say anything. All I said is, why aren't the seasons that people want to play, like a lot of the 80 seasons, why aren't they available at $47? Why can't they sell PDFs like all the other companies? The excuse is that we're all crooks and bank robbers and immoral, and we're going to be, making copies, which probably costs more than you can buy the set for, which wouldn't make any sense. We're going to be making copies and passing around or sending each other the PDFs, and then that person's going to make a copy. Making copies costs a lot of money. All right, you go try to make all those sheets at Office Depot, and see how much that. Buy the paper, set it up, print it all out. It's going to be more than the $47 to buy from the company. And who wants to spend all that time doing that and have stuff? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. All right. What's Spire do? Spire struck out. Oh, no, wait. He's up. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is the top of the 6th inning. Let me put in Spire struck out swinging. Then it was a fly ball to center field by Sanderson. And Cromartie grounds out to second base. Flynn. So anyway, I'm going to focus on this game a little bit, unless you guys get me all rattled again. Heck, I was treated like, yeah, that's it. All right, John Stearns. Stearns is 1 for 2. He doubled in the first inning. Wheelhouse. 43. Oh, baby. Right outside of the hit range. 43 is going to be popped up. That's to the left side. And that's Chris Spire calls everybody off, makes the catch. Lee Mazzilli, 9 ballpark, 31. And that's going to be Wheelhouse. Mazzilli's batting from the left side. Still Wheelhouse, 31. So 1-24 is a home run, and the game is tied. It's an 86. It's a deep drive. No, it isn't. He bounces one to the shortstop. Spire fires to first. 2 out. Richie Hebner, 2 out. Top of the 6th. 6 tough. 33. And that's going to be pulled down the line into the right field corner. Valentine after it. Around first is Hebner with a 2-out double. So the tying run is at second base now in the top of the sixth, and it's Joel Youngblood. You know what? They're going to walk Youngblood. Intentional walk to Youngblood. Going to pull a card, pull another card. Youngblood walks to first. Stearns popped up to the shortstop. And we got a grounder to the shortstop. That was 2 outs. Then up came Hebner and pulled a inside pitch down the line into the corner to right field for a double, a 2-out double. He's at second base. Going to walk Youngblood intentionally. You're putting the go-ahead run on base. But I want to pitch to Eddie Kranepool here, even though he's a lefty. At a 233, about 60 points below what Youngblood batted. It's going to be a 5 patient. A patient 95. It was a good move. It's going to be a fly ball lifted to right. Valentine there, and the Mets leave 2, score none, and at the end of 5.5, it's 2-1 Expos. Let me see, 7 there. Berenger can go 6, so that's it. Berenger becomes fatigued, and I'm going to show you how the fatigue system works. Now he's 7.5, so he's a pretty good fatigue card here. 6 or more. He is 6 or more, and he's 4 or more. No, he's not 4 or more. He's 4 or less. We're going to use a fatigue pitcher card, which doesn't really mean he's going to do terrible. It just means that 4 or more. I got to do, okay, 0, 2, and 6 or more. There it is. That's his fatigue pitcher card. And I'll let him go 1 inning with that, and then I'm going to pull him. I'm just waiting. He actually bats next inning in the top of the 7th, and that's what I'm waiting for, so I don't have to make a lot of substitution because it slows down. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, Christ. I just had a big accident, dude. A big accident. All right. Now, my camera just came undone. It was not tight. So I'm going to have to spin it around here and see if it works there. Okay, we're good now. Did everybody get dizzy? Hey, can you guys see my... All right, there it is. Okay. Who's up? Dave Cash against the fatigue pitcher card here in the bottom of the 6th. It's a 6. That's a tough 60. And that's a ground ball second base. Oh, no. Ground ball second base. So Cash grounds out to Flynn. And now it's patient 85. And that's a ground ball to short. Taveras up with it. Fires to first. 2 away. I'm doing it up there. Damn it. And it's Rusty Stop. 7. Wheelhouse 64. And that's grounded to short again. Taveras. Plenty of time. Staub has no wheels at this point. I don't know if he ever did. And that's it. So we go to the top of the 7th now. We're going to have to pull some white out here. We'll see. We may not have to pull white out. See what happens. Who's there? Hey, did I tell you I started 79th season? Instead, drop. Yeah, I've been following you on that. Fringe cards will show up. I guarantee it. Okay, he will produce he will get them together, and I want them as well because I want to play the 77 season. That was a very fond memories of the 77 season. My first season ever in tabletop was the 76 season, and I played it in 77, and I watched every game every day in 77. Yeah, I was 13 years old, 12 years old, something like that. All right. So let's see. Cash grounded out to Flynn, 4-3. Then it was Dawson grounded out to short, 6-3. And then it was Staub, he grounded out as well to Taveras, over to Kranepool. And now it's Alex Trevino versus Scott Sanderson. Now Scott Sanderson can go 7. Actually, you know what? I made a mistake before. I shouldn't have used the fatigue pitcher card because he hasn't given up more than 3 runs. So I could have let him go, but you know what? It says he can only go 6. And I feel that I allowed the starting pitchers to go a little bit too long without having any effect on their stamina, their ability, and so on. So I'm thinking it just like this says 7. So right now I'm going to make him a fatigue pitcher just to kick up maybe the offense a little bit, and maybe that'll play a little bit. I feel that since I do have a tendency, so I don't have to make a lot of substitutions because that slows down the game for me, and it kind of, I don't know, takes a little bit of the fun away. That's me. Doesn't have to be anybody else. I like to just play the game through, and I like that. So let me bring in a fatigue pitcher card for Scott Sanderson. This is his 7th inning, so he starts feeling the effects of, this is usually how long he goes. Let's see. And I may not even be playing. Once you give up 3 runs in any inning, it could be that you're become fatigued. Who knows? It depends, right? Depends on how many batters you face and all that. All right, so we're looking for Scott Sanderson 7.4. We're looking for actually the same exact card that we used for Behringer. All right. Top of the 7th, and it's time to razzle-dazzle you with my shuffling ability. Okay, it's actually moving much faster than it appears. Items seem much closer than they appear. Okay, that actually did not fall. And as you can see, it's blinding speed. Okay, amazing job. So what Terry Crowley is the biggest reason. Let me see. Hey, I did. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, we both went to the Trump School of Shuffling, right? Yeah, he shuffles bank accounts and money between bank accounts faster than a speeding bullet. All right. All right, that's it. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry you had to see that. It was ugly. I know some of you may have been traumatized. I should have talked about the graphic content before I started the stream, the live stream. I apologize for that. Contact my lawyers if there's any issues. All right, let's go. Fatigue pitcher Scott Sanderson here in the 7th. Again, like I said, fatigue pitcher doesn't mean he's going to do poorly. Defense, 76. Actually, well, let's go third. Let's not look at that number. Let's go to third base. Error third base. And at third base is Larry Parrish. Larry Parrish. Let's see. Parrish is a 3. Error at third base. He's a 3. So that means 1 to 29 is an error, and it's a 21. So the Mets luck out. And let's see what kind of an error it's going to be. It's going to be a third base drop foul. Oh, boy. All right. Drop foul, so it's going to be an E. And I don't have anywhere to write that. Let me put on Parrish. Okay, dropped. Foul. E. Okay, and Trevino is up, still up. I'm going to pull another card for him. It's a 4. It's in play, 67. That's going to be an out of 67. It's a grounder to second. Cash over to who's at first stop. One away. 4-3. And Flynn up, patient 95. Fly ball, left field. 2 away. It's going to be a pinch hitter now. Pinch hitter. We're going to bring in Elliot Maddox. Here's the pitch to Maddox. 9, tough. A tough 38, and that's lined base hit for Maddox. Pinch hit. single for Elliot Maddox. So he's on at first. That's a tying run. It's a 2-1 ball game here in the top of the 7th. Elliot Maddox is on at first, and he will, well, we'll pull to see if he goes. No, he does not. Frankie Tavares is up. And let's see where we're at here. Flynn flied out to left field. 2 outs. I know the feeling. I was telling myself how great Frank Tanana was, doing perfect game through 5, and he uncorked everything in the 6th, which was his fatigue inning. Yeah. Frank Tanana was one of my favorite pitchers. In 77, I think he played on the Angels with Nolan Ryan. And Maddox is going to pinch hit. We're going to pop him in here. Pinch hitting. Maddox pinch hits. There he is. And he singles. So it's a 2-out single by Elliot Maddox. And it's Frankie Tavares. Here's the pitch. It's a 3. Patient 45. That's going to be a hit by pitch. So Tavares is plunked. First and second now. Hit batter. First and second. It's John Stearns. Here's the pitch to Stearns. A 7 wheelhouse. A 12. That's a deep drive to left field. Back goes Cromartie to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 3-run home run by John Stearns, and it gives the Mets a 4-2 lead. It's a happy days. Happy days for the Mets. Finally, they take a lead. Doesn't happen very often, and that's going to be it for our boy Sanderson, who showed some signs of tiring. But all this with 2 outs, a pinch hit single by Maddox here in the top of the 7th, and then a hit batsman, Tavares, was plunked, and up came John Stearns and connected. And that was Stearns, I'll tell you. Hold on a second. Let me get the hit by pitch. And then it was John Stearns. And that's out of here for Stearns. Stearns, I'll tell you how many he has and how many he had. That was Stearns' 14th home run of the year. Right? His 14th home run, I think Stearns hit 9. So he's he started hitting a lot of home runs and then he stopped for a long time. And I think in this last month he hit like 3. So yeah, we need a new pitcher. We're gonna use the actual lineups. Let me go to this game 135. Let me use the actual guy who pitched in this so I know. So the Mets are up 4-2 on the 3-run homer by John Stearns here in the top of the 7th at Olympic Stadium, 1979 Montreal. And it was Fryman. Great thing about payoff pitches, I'm going to find Fryman here. I don't have to do anything. There he is. Woody Fryman's coming in. He's going to pitch. He pitched in the story. Woody Fryman's in. I may have to write him in. I don't know if he's in the roster that I already created. I create rosters as I go, so I'll just add a sub, and that's Woody Fryman. I got a snake in my boots. Fryman. He's a lefty. I should actually, well, you know what? Let me go back to him, make him a lefty. There you go. All right, Woody Fryman, save. Woody Fryman is pitching to Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli is a switch hitter, so he flips. He flips around. So Fryman is coming in. And Mazzilli flips around, and he bats from the right side now. Here's the pitch. It's a 6 patient, a patient 0-3, and that's going to be a walk. So Mazzilli walks, and Mazzilli's going to try to get a jump. He does not. So Mazzilli's on at first with a walk with 2 outs. Mets are up 4-2. See what we can do to hold on to this lead. Not easy for the Mets to hold on to any lead. Richie Hebner, 5, tough. A tough 34, and that's going to be a looping liner into right field. And runners are going to advance 2 bases, so they're going to stop Mazzilli at third. And it's going to be a double, a 2-out double for Hebner. Played perfectly by the left fielder Cromartie, and they stopped Mazzilli at third. That's going to be Joel Youngblood. Joel Youngblood. And again, we're going to walk Joel Youngblood. Second time he walks. Going to pull a couple of cards. And we're going to go to, remember, doubles. Hit double. And advances. And now they're going to intentionally walk Youngblood to load the bases for the second time in the game to pitch to Kranepool. Eddie Kranepool, lefty versus lefty. Here's the pitch. It's a 3 wheelhouse versus a lefty. Oh, wait a second. I just remembered something. 34. It was, wait a second. I got to go back. That wasn't a double because Hebner was hitting versus a lefty. Oh, boy. You got to backtrack, my friend. I just realized that. That 34 was not. That 34 was actually a strikeout. So let's go back. Let's go back. Get rid of that. Let's get rid of this here. And that's a strikeout. Hebner strikes out. And that's going to retire the side. That's out number 3. Mets pick up 3 big runs, right? And Hebner struck out. Youngblood is going to bat next inning. And it's going to be, that's it. So wait a second. Let's undo. And Hebner struck out. Boom. Ellis Valentine. Need a new pitcher. It's going to be Glenn. It's going to be Glenn for the Mets. Ed Glenn. Now, Glenn pitched in 46 games, had a 3 ERA, so he's pretty decent. Let's see if he can tame these Expo bats. Valentine, 4, patient. 67, a patient 67, and that's going to be a ground ball to Flynn. Flynn throws on the run. 1 away. Parrish. 9, patient 64, and that's an out. That looks good. Popped up. First baseman, Kranepool calls for it. 2 away. So that was a ground ball. 4-3. Pop up to Kranepool. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. It's 4-2 Mets. Took the lead on a 3-run homer by John Stearns in the top of the 7th. 12 in play. 11. That's a line drive base hit. And no, that's going to get by. That's going to get by Mazzilli. And Duffy's into second base with a double, a 2-out double. Chris Spire now, 8. Patient 97. And that's a fly ball, shallow left. And that retires the side. The Expos lead 1, score none. And after 7, it's 4-2 Mets. So Dyer, cancel that. Dyer doubled. Held up, and then it was Spire who fly to left field. And it's Woody Fryman faces Joel Youngblood. Top of the 8th inning. 7. Tough. A tough 85. Tough 85, and that's a ground ball to shortstop. Spire over to first, 1 away. Kranepool, 8. In play, 37, and that's a grounder to first base. Staub takes it himself, 3U. That's 2 out. And That's Alex Trevino, 7, tough, a tough 29. That's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Fryman, 3 up, 3 down, go to the bottom of the 8th. Youngblood grounded out, 6-3. Cranepool grounded out. And strikeout for Trevino. All right, so it's the pitcher's spot now. The pitcher's spot. And we're going to have to go in. Let's see. Glenn pitched right here. So Glenn came in the bottom of the 7th. We're going to back out because I did not input the pitcher, but it's easy to fix. You go into edit game. You go to the 7th, and wherever, let's say bottom of the 7th. Let me see. 7th inning, top of the 7th, Bottom of the 7th, it was Glenn who came in. Edit the visitor. Glenn is going to pitch. Glenn comes in. Ed Glenn, that's it. Okay, so that's done. Now I go back into the game. So Ed Glenn should be batting, score game. We will input Glenn as a 9th place batter. Ed Glenn. So Ed Glenn is batting. I'm sorry, it's Ed Glenn will be batting whenever he bats. I inputted him into the lineup. Now I'm backtracking here. I'm doing all the changes. Now it was after the Stearns home run, we got Fryman after the Stearns home run. So I'm going to back out again. Go to edit game, and that was in the top of the 7th. Going to the 7th again, top of the 7th. Doug Flint flies out. Maddox singles, Taveras hit by pitch, Stearns home run, and then it was substitution. Okay. It's going to be Fryman comes in there. Do not know why that's not showing up. Let's see. Home. I don't know. It's weird. Pitcher's Fryman. All right. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So I did bring him in. I did do that properly. What I did not do properly is Okay, he should be batting. That's the thing. I brought Fryman should be batting now. Offense safe, so he's batting. But we're not going to let Fryman bat, right? We're going to bring in a pinch hitter. And the pinch hitter is going to be Gary Carter. No, White. We're bringing White. Jerry White's going to pinch hit. Okay, as you can see, this takes a little while. So that's why I'm not a big guy on a lot of changes. So White, bottom of the 8th. White, it's 4-2 Mets. White is going to bat for Fryman. Pinch hitter. Okay. And pitching for the Mets is Glenn in his 2nd inning of work. And what do we do with Ed Glenn? There he is. Okay. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, guys. All right, Jerry White batting. Here's the pitch to White. 7, tough. A tough 56 off a left-hander. A tough 56. That's a strikeout. So Jerry White, who batted, I'm not even going to say versus lefties, strikes out. I'll put that there. Warren Cromartie up now. Mets are 5 outs away from winning a ball game, which is a miracle in itself. That's a tough pitch, a tough 12. That's a strikeout. So Cromartie strikes out. Second strikeout, back-to-back strikeouts by Ed Glynn in the bottom of the 8th. Dave Cash, 7 tough, 94. Fly ball to 7. That's Stearns out there. And that's all she wrote for the 8th inning. We go to the top of the 9th. Top of the 9th. And it's going to be Fryman again. Been pitching very well, so why switch him? Trevino made out. It's going to be Flynn, a pinch hitter for the Mets, and a new pitcher. Don't forget that. New pitcher for the Expos. It's going to be Sosa. Sosa. Wasn't Sosa the guy in Scarface? Sosa. You think you're important? You're nothing. Wasn't that the guy's name? Sosa. Sosa. All right, so Sosa is going to pitch to Flynn here in the top of the 8th. Let me make the change so I don't forget that. Let me see. Let me make sure I've done everything. Cromartie struck out. And then it'll fly out by Cash. And now Doug Flynn is up. New pitcher is Sosa. All right, here's the pitch. Wait, so he comes up with 2012. Now again, and you know what I call the current decade of baseball. You're funny, Clinton. All right, 6, tough. Tough pitch to Flynn, 39. And that's going to be 39. It's a ground ball to stop. 3 unassisted. Pitcher up, and it's going to be Allen is going to be warming up in the bullpen. So Allen is going to be warming up in the Mets bullpen, and let's see, where's Allen? Let's look for Allen. Then we're going to bring in a pinch hitter. We're going to bring in Norman as a pinch hitter. Allen is there. Who else? Yeah. Let me see who pitched in this game for the Mets. So yeah, it was Norman. So got it right on the nose. And then it's going to be Neil Allen. So Norman, Flynn rounds out to first base. Ed Glynn is going to be pinch hit for by Danny Norman. Danny Norman versus righties batted 159, but 400 versus lefty. Dan Norman. I think he came over in that Seaver trade, did he not? Maybe, I may be wrong. In the Midnight Massacre of 77, June 15th, 1977. Wasn't it like 4 guys? Wasn't it like Flynn, Norman, Zachary, and Henderson, Steve Henderson? All right, here's the pitch from Sosa. In play, 93. And that's a fly to left. 2 out. Norman. And to Frankie Taveras. Taveras is 0 for 3 today, but he scored a run. He was hit by a pitch in that big 7th inning for the Mets. 10, Patient. Patient 71, and that's going to be lined and caught by the second baseman. And that's 3 up, 3 down. So it's going to be Allen, Neil Allen now. Norman flied out, and Taveras lined out. And now it's going to be Neil Allen. See if he can get the save for the Mets. He pitched in this game. The actual score of this game, let me tell you what the actual score was. The actual score of this game was 6-5 in 10 innings. Montreal won it. The Mets scored 4 runs in the top of the 7th. And in this game, they scored 3 runs in the top of the 7th. So Andre Dawson is going to be leading it off against Neil Allen. I'll tell you a little bit about Neil Allen. Let's look at what Neil Allen is all about. Neil Allen was 6-10 with a 3.55 ERA. Let's see if we can find. There he is. Neil Allen with he was 6-10 with a 3.55 ERA, 8 saves, 50 games, 5 games started, 99 innings pitched, 100 hits, and only 4 home runs. So that's a good thing. That's a good sign. So Neil Allen is on the mound, and he will be facing Andre Dawson in the bottom of the 9th. The Mets are up by a score of 4-2, thanks to a 3-run shot by John Stearns in the top of the 7th off of Scott Sanderson. So here's the pitch from Allen. It's 11. That's ballpark. A 14. We're talking about wheelhouse, 1-37, and that's a 69. So that's going to be a ground ball, chopped to second. Flynn throws Dawson out, 1 away. Rusty Staub steps in, 10 in play, 0-1, and that is that's going to be driven into the gap, and Mazzilli after it, and Staub into second base. Rusty Staub into second base with a 1-out double. So Dawson rounds out 4-3. Staub is going to double. So the Expos are alive here with the tying run at the plate in Ellis Valentine. Valentine hit 21 home runs. That's a tough 76. And that is a fly ball center field, shallow center. Mazzilli comes in. 2 out. Mets are 1 out away from winning a game. And that's always something to get excited about. Here's the pitch from Neil Allen to Larry Parrish. Parrish is 0 for 3 on the day. Good power, a patient 68. And that's going to be a ground ball. Second base, Flynn flips the crane pool, and the game is over. The Mets win it. Holy smokes. Mets win it by a score of 4-2. The loss is going to go to Sanderson. The win is going to go to Ed Glynn. No. It's actually going to go to Behringer. So Behringer gets the win. He goes 6 innings, gives up 1, 2, 3 hits, a 1 home run, gives up 2 runs, 2 earned runs, struck out 3, struck out 4, and he walked none. One. Walked 1. Glynn was masterful. Went 2 innings, no hits, no home runs, no walks. Struck out 2. No runs, no earned runs. So he gets a big hold and a save by Allen in the 9th. When 1 inning gave up 1 hit, no walks, no strikeouts, no runs, no. So that's it. Mets win this one, game 135, 4-2. So let me Valentine flied out to center, and then Parrish grounded out to second to end the ball game. So this is good. I'm happy. Remember the Gurley Manly League in honor of all the great complete games and innings pitched. All right, chatter, man. I'll see you guys. And that's it. I don't think there's anything else I want to. Mets get a win here, and let me tell you their record compared to their actual record. Let's see, team manager, their actual record, and their record here after this game is going to be 46-89. 46-89. In reality, 135, they were 53-81. So in reality, they were 50. There's nowhere to write on this damn thing. 53-81. So we're basically 7 games away. 7 games away from their actual record. And this can attest to my amazing, coaching ability. Right? But yeah, Mets win a game, and that's a great thing. So that made me happy. It's 4-2. Final score is 4-2. Let me run down some. Sanderson went 6 and 1, 6 and 2/3, 6.2. Fryman went 1.1. Sosa went 1.0. Sosa gave up no hits. Fryman gave up no hits. So all the hits were given up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits by Sanderson. So the Mets had 8 hits. The Expos had only 4. The Expos committed 1 error. The Mets committed none. So it's Mets 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Expos 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. And that's all she wrote. This is CP Cards and Dice after an hour-long game, hour and 15, hour and 16 minutes. I'm going to say, talk to you guys. Oh, listen, yeah, APBA, I'm looking for some seasons. I'm looking for the 86, the 88, and the 92 season. That was, even though I'm giving away the 92, I just can't put them together. They're not in teams. I need to buy it in teams. So anybody have those or knows anybody that wants to get rid of those, contact me. Notwithstanding the whiteout. All right, Clinton. It's good to talk to you, brother. You're pretty funny. You're much more likable once somebody gets to know you. And that's it, guys. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for hanging out for a little while. And I will be around hanging out in other people's games and saying hello. So this is CP Cards and Dice. Tony Bologna saying adios, hasta la vista, arrivederci, ciao, bon voyage, and all that other fun stuff.